yes, it's time for the final of 2,488 players culminating in this last duel. Joshua Schmidt in the red versus Anthony winning the dice roll, leading us off with Pot of Prosperity in the Rescue Ace deck versus Joshua Schmidt's Bystial Synchro strategy.
Again, the most represented deck, even in Top Cut, against one of the most unique ones there, but this doesn't mean anything. Nobody has the advantage right now, and let's see these reveals from Anthony.
That's everything you could ask for. We've got defensive cards, we've got Preventer, as well as Rota, the most important piece of the puzzle in Rescue Ace, the Hydrant. Will we be going wee-woo in this final? Let's find out what he decides to pick here. And considers the options if we need that starter, and does indeed actually go for the reinforcement of the army to get the Warrior from the deck here. Activates it immediately. No responses from Josh. Ash Blossom doesn't come down on the Prosperity. Actually going for the Lifter here.
Yeah, off to a pretty good start, honestly, and this is actually the first time that we get to comment on Rescue Ace, and maybe for once we get...
No,
no,
Alberto,
I don't want to
no.
say it.
I mean, it was Alberto speak for the event, and it's very close. Ours unfortunately failed, Nadir, but let's see.
Yeah, something a little bit different, I suppose, for us here, at least. Rescue Ace was massively represented. It was, I think, I want to say 16% of the total representation of the entire event, as actually, no, 12% of the entire event, alongside Unchained. And I suppose, perhaps oddly, Unchained did not convert anywhere near as well as Rescue Ace did. In fact, Rescue Ace dominating the top cut spot, but not actually going that deep into the top cut. But there is one final firefighter remaining, and his name is Anthony Lopez here, as we are dropping down Turbulence. And things are about to get bumpy as we set 4 cards directly from the deck here.
What a start.
All right, we've got the 4 cards from the deck here setted directly. I mean, wow, it's an incredible card, and so much value gained from a singular boss monster. And will we continue on with some plays here to recycle with plays like our Sunlight Wolf? This deck is in fact playing the Proxy Magician version, which sets up the Terahertz, and that gives you the negate in the graveyard for your turn 1 play. Let's see if he actually goes for that. All right, and there is a search here coming up.
Absolutely. Let's see. On the other end, Joshua obviously has a lot of ways to disrupt this field. Going second with his runic spells. Most likely, we have seen him all over, and he has gone through quite a significant top 8. He knocked 2 Labyrinth decks with both Joe and then Dinka Bui, so he had quite the rough journey up to this final.
Goes for Preventer here from the hand, making the Masquerena, not going into any Proxy Magician plays here. So Josh is going to draw for turn now and fight through these last 3 set cards, as well as the IP, most likely into SP Little Knight. Lots of disruption and 1-card combos utilized in the Rescue Ace strategy, probably why it's been so popular this weekend. It's just an all-round versatile deck that has so many ways to just generate advantage, control the field, but will it be enough?
Seems like he has 3 monsters and 3 spells, so pretty even end. Sometimes you want to see more.
Evenly matched, perhaps you could say.
That would have been a card.
Here is the Bystial Lebellion being discarded from the hand, searching any Bystial from the deck here. Gonna get Magnamut most likely. Doesn't have a ton of synergy in this matchup, unfortunately. The Bystial is a little bit weaker. Rescue Ace, a full fire engine. Literally an engine, get it? Fire engine. So no light and darks to banish to take advantage of the Bystials, but we're going to get Magnamut out of the deck regardless, and I think we're going to be mostly relying on our Runics to try and take this one down here. And we do have 3 spells in hand here, one of which is Tip.
And that's arguably the best one, so why not?
Yeah, this matchup is probably something that Josh has played a lot of going through this entire tournament. Lots of representation, as we mentioned, from Rescue Ace. What do you think about the Rescue Ace matchup versus Runick's?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be like so disappointed if I were Joshua to play against Rescue Ace. I mean, the die roll was impactful because like this is huge. Honestly, you have the Preventer, which basically gives you a free Book of Moon, let's say. And I mean, with this hand being drawn by Joshua, honestly, it doesn't help much because, yeah, here with the 3 setup from Anthony, yeah, indeed, he's just trying maybe I mean, I think Joshua knows what Rescue Ace does, right?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to contain here, it looks like. That is...
Let's see if there is a response. We know, but no, doesn't seem like it. So we'll resolve.
Yeah, so the Rescue Ace cards, for those of you unfamiliar, you have a bunch of effects that you can activate, such as special summoning, negating, as well as destroying. But they also benefit from bonus effects when you have the Hydrant on the field here. And that is sort of the heart and soul of the deck because it's extremely important to maintain the Hydrant's presence so that you can get maximum value out of all of your spells and traps.
And this is exactly the case here. Magnamut was negated, but also now cannot be used as material. So this is pretty big here.
I'm curious to see if we're actually in the battle phase, potentially, because we could have went battle phase with the Magnamut, then try and bait out Masquerena, but...
That's a great card, though. Discarded as he was forced to banish the Lubellion. He actually has the Saronir, which could just replace it right away.
Yeah, it's a great discard here. We can activate the Hugin potentially.
And resolves?
Yep, it does get good synergy off of that discard, because now the Saronir can dump as well as searching out the all-important Fountain. Saronir replacing itself here with the Lubellion, so the banish of the Magnamut, like I mentioned at the start, not a lot of synergy in this matchup because you're really lacking the light and darks that your opponent can facilitate for you to give you essentially free summons and take away their resources, so we're going to have to use our own here, but it's okay. Saronir fills up the grave nicely, which means Lubellion should be able to become special summon to the field and get that all-important regained up.
But now Anthony decides that he needs to do something, and apparently he is about to put this face down, which now kind of prevents Joshua from using his extra monster zone, so could be quite problematic.
Yeah, the extra monster zone kind of important here because it is where you summon all of your Runick fusion monsters from. So denying the ability to utilize that right now means that we can't go into things like Chaos Angel, we can't do our synchro plays, and really important Preventer activation here. Don't forget, we also have the Masquerena online still unused. So a huge amount of disruption still left from Anthony.
And obviously we have seen already Joshua key card in the deck, which is that branded Regain to just keep on accumulating advantage. But here comes the tip, even before the Fountain, just because of that Masquerena threat.
Yeah, Runick Tip might have to try and search for something that deals with Masquerena before we can commit our Runick Fountain to field. Because you do not want to have your Fountain disrupted here. You can quite easily protect it generally with the Hugin, but unfortunately that's been set face down. So our next order of operations that we're going to have to deal with is the Masquerena, and it looks like Josh is trying to find a tool to deal with it, either going for Hydrant or Masquerena here.
Absolutely, the Flashing Fire. Let's see what he banishes off the top. Nothing too relevant, it seems.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of one-offs in the Rescue Ace deck that you're going to be getting quite fortunate with because of the... Oh, actually does commit the Fountain immediately here.
Okay.
All right, so I think that we're probably going to try and resolve the Fountain, but I think Anthony does need to probably respond here.
Yeah.
Or at least in response to a Runick being activated. Otherwise, on the new chain, we'll be able to activate the SP when chained.
But it doesn't seem like that's the case. The problem is you have the Flashing Fire, so you can just chain that to the Masquerena. But finally, we get to see this part of Joshua's deck. We have been waiting for a while for this Quems, and now we finally get to see one.
Yeah, Quem is sort of the other kind of normal summon engine of the deck here because it allows you to facilitate more synchro plays. It's also a light and a dark, which is pretty synergistic with your Bystials. You can send the Cartesia from your deck to the graveyard, and if you control a fusion at the end, you can return it to the hand for more resources, and does allow you to go into synchro plays here. Now, it's important as well because Quem is a light rather than a dark, so it does mean you get a lot of good value from Chaos Angel if you decide to go into that.
And also with the duality, I was thinking, you know, when as a shuffler, you know, because light and dark monsters that they have, you know. Yeah.
All right, we're chaining the trap here because we do not want to have Lovelian resolve. So the regained is a super important aspect of the deck here. We're gonna chain.
But there is a slumber. Wow.
Wow. So the extinguish being stopped by the slumber protection here, so that we can keep our Lovelian on the field and on the new chain as well. Really importantly, Fountain does have 3 targets in the graveyard. And this is where things can get really scary. Once you start resolving Fountain, things can really snowball out of control, because that is when you generate all of that advantage and then you dig into more disruption, and then it just keeps going and going until your opponent is depleted of resources and you've accrued a advantage upon your opponent of like 5+ cards. Let's see if Anthony can do anything about this here. This extinguish is, yeah, just a huge dodge on the slumber.
Goes
but now
the IP.
Yeah, IP Masquerena here being activated, so we do know that Josh searched out the flashing fire. Yeah, just considering the options here before resolving this flashing fire, but I think it's very likely we're going to have to stop this Masquerena. And there it is, it comes down here, targeting Masquerena. All right, chaining the rescue here.
Yeah, the alert on the turbulence, it seems
Sorry,
like.
yes, the alert.
Yeah.
And yeah, seems like the chain will now resolve, and what a chain it was indeed.
2 off the top here.
Okay.
And yeah, huge chain being resolved here. This was really important. We needed to have a way to deal with Masquerena, and that is the most important part of the strategy, is to resolve this Fountain as we target these 3 spells, recycling them back into the deck, and then drawing 3 more. And you can see here Anthony is getting a little bit outgrinded right now.
But now that Anthony has gone for the alert back on the turbulence, this is what we will try to do.
So I think what Anthony is trying to do here is to dodge, or rather use the effect of the turbulence to destroy a card on the field here, and
well played.
That is
very
really well
played.
spotted.
Very, very, very well played. Yeah.
Whoa,
Spectacular.
last card there.
Rebellion, wow.
Huge defensive plays there by Anthony.
What a play by Anthony.
Big spot there to trigger the turbulence in response, sequencing that perfectly as well to make sure that the turn player priority resolves in Josh's favor, so that he can then use the turbulence as the chain link 2.
And that's it, and that's it.
Passes
What a turn by
Josh,
Anthony.
no, wow. Unbelievable. That is really, really well played from Anthony. Josh was looking like he was maybe in the commanding seat there, but yeah, Anthony navigated that really well.
Yeah, that was
good catch, honestly, with the alert.
Great play from Anthony. I mean, we mentioned it already, YCS finalist, so 2-time finalist at a YCS is no joke.
Yeah,
and,
this is where things get really out of control here. We've got the headquarters being resolved here. It is just an infinite cycle that you can do with this deck, putting back your banished as well as in the graveyard, rescue A spells and traps, and you can just keep resolving turbulence and the recycling, so you could just keep using these over and over and over again.
What a show off from Anthony,
Absolutely.
honestly.
Amazing.
Very
Rescue,
well
alert,
played.
extinguish, contain. The fire rescue ace strategy is just in full flow here. If you didn't need a display of such perfect gameplay from Rescue Ace, you've seen it now. Anthony doing really, really well here to keep Joshua Schmidt at bay.
With that alert, honestly, I think that that was the game changer.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a huge
The game
swing.
would have been probably over on Joshua's favor, but instead Anthony found the line, and look at this advantage. Usually it's the Runick deck who, you know, can get ahead in terms of card advantage, but wow.
Yeah, just creating so much here because of that headquarters. Hugin goes back into the extra deck, but Josh is
He left
completely out
top
here.
decking, right? 0 cards in hand, 0 cards on
I think he
field.
has nothing in hand, right?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's really rough here. Josh is going to need something huge off the top here to try and come back into this game here, but I don't even know what you can possibly go for, because Runick Fountain is going to need another Runick to resolve in order to actually maximize its efficiency here. And, well, Anthony still potentially can go for more link plays in main phase 2, setting up, I mean, whatever he likes. Can go into an SP still that we haven't used yet. And, yeah, we'll see if we'll see the Proxy Magician lines come out.
And this is exactly what he's going for, but not just goes for a regular SP, passes play back to Joshua, who will now go for the Cartesian. Let's see.
Cartesi returned from the graveyard here back to the hand as Josh draws for turn. That is 2 cards to a full entourage of Rescue Ace spells and traps set off of that Turbulence.
Tough. Okay, we go for the Cartesia. One more card in hand.
Cartesia can maybe go battle phase, try and attack over the Hydrant here, but turn off the bonus effects of the Rescue Ace cards. Yeah, that's exactly what Josh is going to try and do here, but the Preventer activates the effect. And that could set the Cartesia face down, but Josh scoops it up! That's going to be game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game 2 underway here at the finals of YCS Bologna 2023. 2,488 duelists have taken part in this event, and it all comes down to this last duel here. Runick Tip is led with here by Joshua Schmidt. That's a good start. Your ability to just search your deck for anything is absolutely powerful, and Josh actually opting to go.
That's a big one. He lost to that card in game 1, and now that card is, for now at least, gone.
One singular banish off the top here, and Runick Tip hits a critical piece of the puzzle here. Going for the Runick Fountain. Reason for that is it's sometimes easier to play through different hand traps your opponent might have, just so you can guarantee that you get the resolution here. Rather than holding out and searching the Fountain. It's a good way to play around Droll and Lockbird.
Okay, and now he's gonna play around.
That's a good discard.
Wow, what a start. Yeah, playing around the Ash Blossom on the Fountain. Let's see if there is some response from Anthony. He's thinking about it.
Chainlink 2 for Hugin here, as you mentioned, protecting the Fountain from direct contact from any sort of hand trap like the Ash Blossom, which means that we will be able to draw 2 cards here, and then on the new chain, the Saronir can activate to send the Lebellion, and if we have any other Bystial in our hand, which very likely we could see here because we're drawing 2 cards, that's going to facilitate some Lebellion plays.
But for now, it seems like Anthony's fine with this. It will resolve, and
yeah, so even if Anthony drew the side deck Droll and Lockbird, the question is, will it be enough here? Draw phase, Runick Tip means you can't draw, and then on resolution you go to your main phase, and this is where you start performing multiple searches off of that one chain, protecting you and insulating really well. So hasn't come up here, but it still is kind of relevant for
sends the Magnamut, so maybe are drawn the regained. Let's see. Oh no, okay, he does have the Lebellion. Okay.
We got a triple Lebellion in our hand or something, maybe? Dumping the Magnamut, that's interesting, okay.
Promising start from
Ooh,
Joshua.
the Bystial Lebellion. Sorry, the Bystial Aliber. This is a card that you don't see very often here. We actually haven't even seen this in branded decks, honestly, but the reason that this is valuable is because it is a normal summon level 4 tuner that is a searchable target from Lebellion.
Yeah,
nice addition.
Pretty interesting card, and thanks to the Runics, this allows you to get easily into Baron de Fleur, for example, pretty much like the Naturia Runic deck that, I mean, Joshua even won the World Championship with, did, so...
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he just thinks 5Ds was the best year of Yu-Gi-Oh! And just wants to be synchroing as much as possible, because we are going into a 6 year, and that's going to be the Coral Dragon.
Yeah. And this is exactly what I was mentioning.
Second copy of Fountain here, which means that we're going to get at least a draw 1. As we go for the Dispelling, can go for Jerry. Jerry return the other Fountain from the graveyard to the hand, resolve the Fountain if we don't have any of the more Runics. And, oh, that is, just, we are going to go for one.
Yeah, one goes to end, and one goes to the bottom to draw a card.
So only one draw, we're not saving for a second one here, but also the value that Coral Dragon can offer as a synchro up into 10 means that it is a tuner synchro, allowing you to access Baron, and on top of that, when it goes to the graveyard, you can draw another card. Don't we just love drawing cards?
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a very solid start, and this
Veiler.
Veiler is okay, honestly. I think I'm happy if I'm Joshua.
Yeah, you're completely fine with that there.
Yep.
Effect Veiler comes down on Jerry. We don't get the second Fountain. I guess we're only going to have to settle for drawing 3 cards this turn. What a shame.
We'll draw a 4th one with Coral right now. So
yeah, that's even more
fine.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet Anthony is really disappointed to have not drawn that all-important Droll and Lockbird, which we've seen so many people play over the course of this weekend. Really is the tech card of the format. And we see one more off the top here with the Coral Dragon. The question is, do we have a way to... Okay,
Yeah.
there's the regain there.
As expected, he did have the regain in hand, and now let's
Do we have
see.
any Beastial? We do actually have another Beastial.
What a hand from Joshua.
Huge.
Yeah.
Summoning the Beastial here just in order to trigger the regain so that we can put the Jerry back into the extra. Draw 1 card. I think we're up to 5 this turn, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
5.
Awesome. Great. Cycling your deck for 5 feels great. And then the regained added resource as well on your opponent's turn. Remember, every single time that your opponent special summons once per turn, you can bring back a Beastial from your graveyard. And we did send the Magnum out, and that's going to get a further search in the end phase. It really is just card advantage the deck. From what I understand, I don't think Josh plays the trap card for Lebellion.
I think he's not playing it. Let me...
Yeah.
No, he's not.
I think he did discuss with me a little bit before the event
Okay.
if he was going to potentially try and play it just for different matchups in the side deck. Turns out that he has opted to not go for that, so another Runick being activated here. I think that was the Destruction.
Yeah, again, this allows him to go once more into the Jerry and now recover the Fountain, as it's not once per turn, and that goes the SP Little Knight.
The Little Knight synergy with Baron the Floor is absolutely disgusting. You can actually use the effect of Baron, negate a card your opponent controls, activate Little Knight, banishing itself and the Baron until the end phase. The Baron returns to the field. Remember, Baron's effect is once while face up on the field. So then it leaves the field, comes back, and then you can use the negate again.
Yeah, and there are so many synergies, not just that. Even the regain, the plus SP Little Knight, we have seen now against Dark or Light decks makes for a very nasty combo where you just banish both, but then shuffle back while you banish for your opponent, and
exactly.
only your Little Knight comes back. So this deck is full of, you know, intricacies, and yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes up here. Anthony does have a lot of good, powerful Light and Darks in the extra deck with the Cyburst engine as mentioned, Masquerena, not Decode Hitzel, he isn't actually a fire, isn't he? Yep. But yeah, there's a couple of interactions that, as you've mentioned, work really well this format, and it's probably why Regained is such an important piece of the puzzle here. But Rescue Ace not going to be worried too much here. Did you just pass turn?
Wow, Anthony just passed back to Joshua.
That is really unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few duelists which I've seen. You know, I remember Dinka was in a previous format saying against the Runick decks, sometimes you just want to do for this because then they cannot really attack. You skip their turn, but yeah, it's definitely unfortunate when you don't have enough.
Yeah, there's a world you can just pass because you're not in risk of you know, losing the duel since they can't go to the battle phase.
Yeah.
But I'm just worried that Josh might get ahead a little too far on.
No.
Oh,
Passed, yeah.
wow,
But
okay.
back.
As you see, passed. So Anthony actually was really with an heads-up play here. Makes sense.
All right.
Now, though, we cannot really play that game anymore. We need to do something, and we have one additional card to do that with. So
Yeah, I guess you could see it as some sort of indirect 1 day of peace activation. If you really squint hard enough, that's just what happened. So Anthony having another extra card to have a turn here. Let's see if he can do anything about this, because as you mentioned, no Runicks were activated on Josh's turn. Josh just goes draw pass, doesn't activate any Runicks to resolve Fountain because you will have to skip another battle phase. No point in that. So let's see if we can hold down the fort with just the SP and the Baron, as well as a mystery set card.
Well, Anthony might have drawn, honestly, because he's thinking about it, but...
yeah, maybe he just doesn't see a line that does it. And there are still 19 minutes left in this, 26 already down, and this is going to be a tough one for Anthony, and he passes back once again. Wow.
That is
what
really
did he draw
unfortunate.
into? Like,
gosh, that's, I mean, full like hand traps or something.
like the 2 Veilers? I don't know. Like,
yeah, that's really rough here.
Well,
And Josh can probably just I try and summon out maybe a Bystial or two. Should be enough to round out the game here, but...
Yeah, but maybe he has a read again. Okay, no, he's gonna bounce it back. Okay, interesting. So Joshua probably sees a line where he can end this duel right here and puts back the Baron, and yeah, does have a cram. Yeah.
Special summoning the Magnemite out of the graveyard with the tag out effect of Baron, versatile monster, Omni Negate, as well as that synergy we mentioned with Little Knight, but also recurring from the graveyard. And our normal summon Quen's going to dump Cartesia. That's going to give us more follow-up if we can't find a way to find game here. But with a 6 and a 4, we can indeed just go back into the Baron before we end our turn here. But first and foremost, let's see if Josh can figure out any extra damage right now. It doesn't look like it, actually. Every deck has its strengths and weaknesses. Drawing a million cards and controlling the field really well is one of them, but dealing a ton of damage, sometimes Runick decks can struggle with that, with the battle phase restriction and just not being able to put up so many big bodies and monsters, although the Bystials do facilitate that quite nicely, but not in this situation. Josh is going to have to settle for remaking Baron.
Yeah, and now there is essentially one more turn for Anthony to do something to stay in this game. Otherwise, we are gonna go to just game 3. Let's see.
Druid's Worm is added back in the end phase here.
One more draw.
Magnemite searching from deck or adding back from grave. Can't summon the Magnemite now to try and generate free advantage because Anthony does not control a monster, so Bystials aren't completely free. And yeah, Anthony essentially got to just pass and see 3 extra cards over the multiple turns there. And yeah, this is it. We need to play now. We're going to go Diabell Star, sending a card from our hands here. We're going to dump that Headquarters from the hand to the grave there. Gonna chain the SB Little Knight here and into enemy controller.
Okay, let's see.
I saw this card in the side deck of Anthony. I was really curious and wondering, is that a card you would bring in against Runick?
Yeah, and we just negate here with the Baron.
All right.
Let's see if there is anything else from Anthony. At least we have baited both SP and Baron.
Yeah, that's huge here. We're going to set off of the Bellstar, getting the Sinful Spoil out of the deck here. And yeah, the Sinful Spoil engine is probably what took Rescue Ace into domination over the last couple of months. You've probably noticed that Rescue Ace pre-Age of Overlord wasn't exactly an incredibly consistent deck. Did have a lot of power and strength around it, but over the course of Age of Overlord, the Sinful engine has just given it so much consistency as we also continue our turn here with Emergency.
I mean, Anthony's trying, honestly. I mean,
yeah, but not try his best. Resolves. So right now, obviously Joshua not really scared by this. Let's see.
Yeah, a lot of responses here. Regained will get to trigger on any summon and give you Magnemite more advantage. And if we have any more Runicks in our hand, which, you know, there's a chance that there is after drawing so many cards, that can also snowball and further into more draws off of Fountain. Here comes that Emergency, bringing out the Hydrant and tributes from the hand, a copy of the Turbulence.
Yeah, not looking too good for Anthony right now, but Joshua on the other end is gonna use that regained that gives him so much advantage and goes for a Flashing Fire from the end. Just one of the multiple Runicks he's probably holding.
Yeah, Chainlink 1 regained, Chainlink 2 Flashing Fire to destroy the Hydrant. And I think we're doing this just to try and force out any other kind of Rescue Ace spells and traps we have in our hand. To stop any potential bonus effects that might come down here.
I think Anthony might have just one card in hand. Yeah, let's see.
We have a discard, and then we have the tribute, so we've gone quite minus here.
No, maybe 2 card. Yeah, maybe 2 cards.
All right, that's huge here.
Okay.
We're going to target the Turbulence, and in response, we're going to alert. Is that Rescue? I swear rescue and Alert look exactly the same, don't they?
I think it's Rescue, right?
Yeah, this one's Rescue. Target a monster in the grave, and then you can special summon it to your field. You can also bring back our opponent's cards if necessary here. There we go, we're going to bring back Turbulence. 2 cards off the top. I think that was a Lifter we hit there, but that is a 3 of, so not too worried about that.
Let's see if there is anything else from Joshua to stop this. Freezing curse. I mean, we could see the same as in the previous.
So on summon here, Turbulence is targeting the Runick Fountain to destroy. So Josh deliberating whether we want to chain another Runick to summon Hugin and then protect.
The thing is, Joshua can also now just use it, and he's gonna go for both the Magnamut and then the Fountain, because as turn player, Anthony has to be Shin Link 1 right here, which allows Joshua to just resolve the Fountain first.
Yeah, still gets value here because of the turn player priority. His Fountain is always going to come last on the chain there.
That doesn't really matter then. So Fountain is gone, but Joshua still has drawn 2 cards.
Must be some hand traps there if we're not using any other Runicks, I suppose. All right, Turbulence going to activate the effect to set from the deck here. We already have one. That's going to be potentially
solid. The solid
3
turn
more.
though by Anthony again. Once again, trying his best to stay in this.
Extinguish, Contain, and Emergency. Search that at the deck here.
Yeah, unfortunately there's no alert, given that it's been banished before.
Yeah, we can recur that with a Headquarters if necessary, but I think Anthony's already actually sent the Headquarters from the hand, so the long game is not what Anthony wants to play here, I think. Battle phase not used, remember, so we do have some options available. Normal summon Ash Blossom.
Yeah.
That's not how you counter Fountain. All right. Do we have any kind of, I don't know, maybe an Almirage or something to climb up to some Cyberse plays, maybe?
But we are gonna see Joshua right here actually prompted a response and gonna special summon the Druid's Worm.
Yeah, Resolution, the Regain gets to recycle the Jerry. We can draw 1 more card off of Regain.
Yeah, and this is a beautiful cycle, but as mentioned here, we knew that the Bellstar and
Ash Blossom in response here.
And that's it.
But the crowd here has given us a loud roar for this game number 3. We've gone tooth and nail to fight through this entire huge tournament that we've got here, and Anthony pushing through. Joshua equally involved with a massive, just huge back and forth from both players over the last game or 2, and now it's time for Anthony playing at lightning speed here, recognizing.
Looks like as if only 1 minute remaining, no?
Yeah, he's playing as if we've got 30 seconds on the clock here, but I think he sees the lines, the combos. He's probably done this a million times already, and so it's just about flexing those the memory of the combo lines here as we try and set up as quick as possible, because Anthony does know for sure that Josh's deck, the Runick deck, can defend itself really, really well and is super resilient to damage and can just hold out here, and so he knows that he's going to need multiple turns in order to try and deal damage and get to a battle phase that actually facilitates some damage for him.
And by the way, just saying, this is the first summon for Anthony. Just saying.
Okay. But I mean, the speed is quite impressive from Anthony, as mentioned, and well, there are 8 minutes remaining, and this is crazy stuff. And to be fair, can't blame him for it. Now, we'll see this emergency. It resolves. Great news for Anthony.
Yeah, no Ash Blossom coming down here. There was no Droll Lockbird summoning out the Turbulence, tributing from the field here, and now Turbulence can get 4 from the deck. That's going to give all of the all-important Contain, Extinguish, Alert, and Rescue onto the field here from the deck to be able to start disrupting plays and then try and get to that battle phase on the turn 3 and deal some damage, as we are hitting just about 7 minutes on the clock here. Josh is thinking long on this Turbulence here. Do we have a response for it? And that is Nibiru, the Primal Being! Would you believe it? The rock comes down. Yeah, you were counting for a reason, I suppose. Nibiru comes down here on the summon of Turbulence. Oh, and a chain of Druid's Worm in response as well. So that's going to send the token. And Josh is, just summoning a 3000 body. They're preventing the Turbulence from being summoned. And what can Anthony possibly do right now? That was the big play that he had available to him, was the Turbulence.
Yeah, that's crazy from Joshua. just what you needed there. Perfect, perfect pair in hand, and wow. Anthony, yeah, just gonna
Summons
pass
a
play.
preventer and sets one card to pass turn here as Josh in the end phase another Magnamut, and he's got 3 targets as well because the Dark Monsters Link Karibo was made in the graveyard. Magnamut gonna get a search in the end phase for Lebellion, the Bystial Aliber, whatever you want, and that's gonna give you, well, I mean, as long as Josh doesn't activate a Runick card, he can deal some sort of damage, surely, only through one singular back row remaining from Anthony, completely out of resources. That Nibiru wiping away the entire field. Unbelievable. This is an incredible game.
Oh my. I mean, I don't know.
And we got the normal summon Quem.
As well.
Huge normal summon with Lebellion as well in the hands here. And forget dealing a little bit of damage. I think we could potentially try and go for game right now. A huge
What I was
swing
saying,
here.
what game is this?
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy opening. The Magnamut once again limited but glued to Joshua End this weekend, and well, this is an amazing turn.
I don't know what happened. We had a nice little slow back and forth over the last game or two, big technical plays, but now we are just lighting the fire here as both players going all in. There is the Baron the Floor being summoned, now activating the effect to destroy the last spell and trap card, the only spell and trap card on the field. It's an infinite impermanence being forced out here.
Sure.
Yeah, no, you're fine with that because Baron can only be used once while on the field. No real reason at all to negate this. Let that resolve, and you've got 3,000 damage through to the life points directly. Does Josh have any more here? Unbelievable turn of events here. What a huge swing. And it looks like we have the activation in hand of what appears to be another Bystial.
Yeah, yet another one. That's the one he added with the Magnamut.
Yep, there's the Saranir here. Curious if we'll maybe send it at some point, linked away to dump Lebellion, but I think we're just trying to find some damage right now.
I think it will have the bottom phase. No.
You know, in hindsight, if Josh just destroyed the monster, negated the imperm, I think we would have had more than enough for a game, honestly. But all right, this is still going to be working out quite nicely. Saranir sends, Lebellion summoned out. Going to send the card to the graveyard, set up regained. No access to Runick cards so far, but obviously no reason to use them early.
Doesn't need them.
Yeah.
This works out. I mean, the Runick cards carried him all weekend, but right here in game 3 might win without a single Runick card.
Yeah, no, he just needs to get to the battle phase and deal some damage, and then we can
Wow,
handle that
the
later. That's
duality.
duality being activated, spinning away the Lebellion, summoning out the deck. The extra deck, rather. Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend for damage in time if necessary. I don't know if it's going to be required, but Duality's bonus effect in the graveyard, recycling a Light in the Dark to draw another. As a wise man once said, I'm a banish a Light in the Dark, but instead we're returning it to the graveyard to draw another card. Can we facilitate or see any other pieces of the puzzle to give us more damage here and just go for game?
Pure Bystial.
How much damage can we even do here? We can do 6,000 and then effect destroy. That's going to be 75. We just need 500 damage.
I think that is 75. Yeah.
Do we have anything else? Josh just needs 500 damage from the hand in the battle phase to be able to take this out here. Looks like we're going to the battle phase. Nibiru, the primal being, attacks over, and the preventer actually floating back into the lifter here. Very important. Chooses not to negate with the Baron effect here.
Yeah, because it's negated by impermanence.
Yeah, of course, the infinite imperse did resolve earlier. Yep, okay.
But wait a second, because I have a doubt. Wasn't the same regain column as the impermanence? I'm just noticing. I think
hang on, that was the that was the imperm column.
I'm pretty sure it was the same impermanence column.
Did we use regain draw effects?
Yeah, it was the same column as the regain, right? But we haven't used any of the effects, I think. So just let's keep that in mind, I think, yeah? Right? But just as a,
Okay.
Just to remind, I guess, us if it ever happened. But I don't think we drew a card, right?
No, I'm not sure that we actually recycled anything, because we only... did we recycle a card? 'Cause we only have one banished monster. Although we summoned, what, was it 2 Bystials? One of them was Link Karibo, one of them was the Quem.
I think it should be okay, right? Because they didn't... I mean, same column, but...
Yeah,
I don't think they were used, though, right?
Yeah.
No, so for now all good.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
It's good.
So yeah, 5,000 damage has been dealt here. Linking away the Nibiru and the Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. Doesn't need to use the effect to burn here because we've done 3,000 in the battle phase, linking away into SP Little Knight. Remember, we talked about that incredible synergy with Baron and the SP.
Absolutely, and with just 2 minutes remaining, this is quite a tough field to break and then deal damage. Wow.
We haven't used a single Runick card, by the way, just remember. So, you know, Swiss Army knife of a deck can do anything, I suppose. Normal summoning Hydrant. And Anthony has 1 minute 30 seconds to deal with SP, Regained, Baron, and make 3,000 damage just to tie this up. Regained is going to resolve here on the Summon of a Monster, specials out the Druid's Worm from the graveyard. And now we're going to activate Hydrant. Will Josh negate and destroy this? Do we hold here? We're going to think for just a moment here.
I think it will make sense to negate it, right? Because you know that there's a spell in Anthony's hand.
All right, so Baron negate.
Yeah.
Negate and destroy the Hydrant.
Is there anything else from Anthony?
Here we go. Activate Turbulence is in the hand. Okay.
But the time is... Oh my god, 1 minute remaining.
Time is ticking, time is ticking. We're banishing 2 here, special summoning Turbulence on
the
summon.
What an ending.
We could use the Little Knight here. No, okay, we're gonna let that hit the field here, and now we're gonna reborn the Turbulence, it looks like.
Is there a response from Joshua? Seems like the Little Knight will be used.
I think we are definitely gonna have to use Little Knight here. Activates Little Knight, banishing itself and the Turbulence. A second Turbulence hits the field here, but 30 seconds left on the clock. It doesn't matter if you can set 27 cards from the deck here. We need to do 3,000 damage.
One more card. What is it?
Draws off the Sinful Engine. Do we have anything else here? That's a Preventer from the hand here that we are banishing to special summon. Hits the board. Can we deal anything? 3,000, remember, 4 cards being set from the deck
10
here.
10 seconds left.
12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10, not crazy, 10 seconds, 9 seconds.
Here.
And Anthony playing at lightning speed. Even at 8 minutes, he recognized that this was going to be a long duel and was playing at supersonic speed, but
and
there
seems
it
like
is.
time might
0
be called.
seconds left.
Any seconds now.
5,000 life points. Josh on 8K. And here we've got 2 bodies on the field, setting off the Turbulence. Did we resolve the Turbulence yet?
Yes, we did, but only one target was left.
That's
so
insane.
Now, again, moments away. He's just trying to figure out what he has. He has Ita. Can he even bring anything back? Scarlet is dark.
Okay, confirmation from the judges. Time has been called.
Time has been called.
There is no error on your screen. This is it. We need to do 3,000 damage in the main phase. Do we have it? How?
Yeah, it seems like it's just a matter of moments, and Joshua might have pulled this one off because there is no battle phase for Anthony. Wow.
Okay, making some link plays here. What could we possibly commit to? 3,000 damage. Like,
I think he's just realizing what's going on, and unfortunately can't blame him unless there is some ace up his sleeve, really considering all of these lines. But
final chance here. This is the end of the. It's the main phase. Like, what can we do? Like, we're gonna go Hita. Okay. Hita, bring back the airlifter. Do something with Celine maybe, because we have a spellcaster.
There is
bring
the
back
Celine
monster into a link 4. Okay, we're gonna go SP Little Knight
on the
here.
face down. Okay.
Banish the face down, chaining it. Runick Slumber.
Protecting the Baron, it seems.
Okay, protecting Baron from destruction. Doesn't wall up with Jerry or anything like that. Not needed. Banishing 2 cards at the top.
And that's it!
Shakes the hand. That's it. GG. It's over. Josh Richmond takes down another YCS. Bologna 2002.